Here we are in the stamp room, a room that's a mix of both men and women. Men's work is down here. It's hot, it's sweaty, and you're in a pit. Not the best place to be. What they're doing is they're operating these drop forges. These drop forges were found at this time all through the jewellery quarter. The purpose behind them was to turn a nice flat piece of metal like this into one that's got the impression of the coffin fitting on top of it. Now you may be wondering why I've got my foot in this rope. Above me there's a rotating shaft, and this rope goes over that rotating shaft. As I push down hard on this rope, what it will do is it will create some friction between the rope and the rotating shaft, and what that will do is will help lift this heavy weight. That heavy weight will then, as I release the pressure, will then come crashing down. Of course, what I need to do is make sure that in that space I've put this piece of flat metal in, and I've actually got my hands out the way as well. With my desire to make as much money as I possibly could, sometimes I would take shortcuts, and that would lead to accidents. If I didn't quite get my hands out of the way fast enough, then I might end up with less fingers than I came to work with. It was easy to spot a man who worked in the drop forge industry in the jewellery quarter, because standing on their right leg all day long, with constantly pushing up and down with their left leg, they had an unbalanced muscle, and therefore what they did was they walked with a rather unusual gait. Equally as dangerous was the women's work, working over here next to the windows on the fly presses. What they were trying to do was to remove the excess material from the pressings that the men had made whilst they were down in the pit. They would push the fly press away from them to open it up, put the metal inside, and then pull it back down with great force. The women that worked in here were strong and muscular. In fact, it was said that the men would never argue with the women that worked here because the chances are they're going to give them a right hook. And at the far end of the room, what we have is we have a much bigger version of the drop forge. In fact, when that clattered down to create plates like this, it was said that the vibrations could be felt about 1/4 of a mile away.